and then it doesn't get imputed. But anyway, the answer to the question on the economy, let me go there first. Everyone here, sometimes I'll talk with speculation and sometimes I'll talk with fact. The fact is the stock market is separated from the economy is up purely because of the Fed printing money. I mean, you have to know that if they even suggest, as Bernanke did in May, that they were going to taper a bit of what he was doing based on many contingencies, the market will sell off. Understand for these two reasons why this is an extremely dangerous situation, although the way to bet is still on the upside as long as they have this printing press mentality in motion. And let's say the risk part of it is in March, and I just picked two random months when I did this test, in March of 2007, the average volume on the New York Stock Exchange was 1,600,000,000 shares a day. March of this year, it was 630 million shares a day, 40% of what it was. So when the end of QE comes about, everyone who is betting because of this will go out, will exit, and you will have a lot of people trying to sell in a very low liquid environment. So it's going to be a very drastic fall. This is by the way, the fourth central bank of the United States. The other three failed, and they didn't have a dual mandate. So understand that this kind of policy is suicide in the long run. You will absolutely create a crash when there's not going to be a soft landing. It's like I say, it's going to be, everybody knows why it's going up, you'll play the long side, you'll make money, and then when the game ends, everybody will exit at the same time. So it's not going to be a very good landing. So right now, as long as they keep printing, the market's going up, and that's the way to bet. The answer to the questions preceding this about what I would do, now, if you look at why the economy is so weak, it's because every time a Democrat speaks, whether it be Nancy Pelosi or Biden or Obama, they're always talking about raising taxes in the future. Now, if you have capital in your checking account, well, why start a new business when all this regulation is going to rain down on you and you got to spend a lot of money paying for lobbyists to try to get people away from you, when you can go out and buy IBM and you can sell it immediately. So what's happening is money is going into liquid capital companies that they can sell within reason, instead of starting a new business and fighting the EPA and a million other problem environmental agency kinds of bureaucrats. So let's reverse that. Let's say that I would lower to a flat tax. Of course, this is never going to happen, by the way, so I'm just talking here. You lower the flat tax over 5 years to 15%. That is the tax of Singapore, it's the tax of Hong Kong, and zero capital gains tax over 5 years. So you're lowering it a little bit each time, and that's going to make people say, look, I can plan on the future, things are going to get better, let me invest in a business now. That's number one. I would basically cause the Fed funds rate to go up to the average rate, the compounded rate of the last 50 years, which is around 4%. Because there's a lot of people with savings that are being repressed. Money is literally being stolen from them, and they're not getting any savings because they want to reward the people who are the big borrowers, which are the government and corporate America. So I would do a Singapore form of Social Security, which basically says if you get a job, the employer pays 20% into your account every year of your salary, and you have to put 15%. But it's in your name, in your account, and you can use it to buy a house, or you can use it for your retirement. It's the only two things you can do with it. So 35% of your forced savings, that's why you have a lot of rich Singapore people in the next 25 years. But it's a way to solve the problem, meaning the Social Security problem that we have, which unfunded liabilities, the high projections are 222 trillion by Larry Kitnikoff of Boston University. So that coupled with slowing spending, as we've seen this big sequester has really caused a great problem, to lowering spending by 1% a year for the next 5 years. Those are just off kinds of things that I would do.
Could I add a little bit to that? I think it's kind of interesting this debate.